Hello, hello, my Let's Keep It Real people. Well, you know, I like to do what you want. And you said, Sandy, we want to see the people more. So here he is, the guy I've been telling you about. Tom, welcome, Tom.
They might reconsider after seeing me. I don't know. They
No,
knew
not
you
at
gotta be
all.
careful what you wish for, right?
All right, let's just talk about keeping it real. This is the second time Tom and I have done this because his audio, for the first time, I think in 5 years, did not come through. All we heard, Tom, was.
See, I ruined it for you, didn't I?
I think the gods meant they need to see Tom. All right, let's start with it. One word to best describe your past 30 days. What would it be and why? And we don't care what it is.
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay, so just so you know, I just want to back up there a second. We're going to go with dogs, but people usually pick an emotion to best describe them, like it was peaceful, aggravating, exciting. You pick dogs. So
And
what emotion?
I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
it again.
All right. So what emotion does dogs bring to you?
Okay.
We gotta get in there.
Absolute love and adoration and
There we go.
yeah. So yeah, it's, the old thing, dog spelled backwards is God. So these are animals that love you unconditionally. One of my favorite pictures that I keep on my computer is a homeless guy with a big dog hugging him under a blanket. That's all they had for each other. So the dog didn't care if he was homeless. So yeah, dogs dogs are great.
He didn't know any different. He's on the
He
street.
didn't care.
Wild pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's tell him a little bit about that, because I think you rescue dogs. That might be.
Well, I have, one of the things I do is make my hobbies tax deductible. And so that's two different things with dogs. One is I have a protection dog company on the side. So German Shepherds that can turn you into Swiss cheese in about 5 seconds if they felt like it. And then I've rescued, hundreds and hundreds of dogs. I have a rescue husky in there right now that's just a little ball of love. She'll jump up daintily, turn sideways instead of putting her paws on you so that she can put her paws on your arm so you can hug her. And she's so funny because the German Shepherds are one kind of breed, but then when we come in on our last thing for the day and it's dinner time, I say dinner time. I better not say it too loud. They'll start. Yeah. She goes, oh, she's a husky, so she howls. So so they're just great. They're just wonderful. And if you're good at knitting, I got plenty of dog hair. You can make sweaters.
Oh my God! Don't even. I know. I love them, but I have only one dog right now and 5 cats. But every day, it's a whole party, out there.
We used to have Bichons, which are hypoallergenic and don't shed. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, they're wonderful, but the problem with them is everybody thinks they're a poodle. So you take the dog out and everybody says, well, what a cute poodle you have. Well, they're not poodles, they're Bichons, and the dog get complexes. We got to get the doggy psychiatrist. So I started a website called IamNotAPoodle.com.
Oh gosh.
And I raise funds for Bichon rescue.
Okay, well, I like the way you went with that.
$24,000.
Right? Was it you or the dog that had the identity crisis? That's what I want to know.
Well, I love that thing I see on bumper stickers that says for rescue dogs, like who rescued who.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is weird. Just before this, there were, I didn't know what to do. There were 2 dogs outside, 2 young dudes walking their dogs. One dog got off the leash and start attacking the other dog.
Dangerous, yeah. And
ran outside, but by then other guys had been there to help pull off the dogs. But what are you doing in that case?
Well, there's certain methods. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you just let them fight it out, because the dog bite has really been really bad.
Really
so
bad. They're okay.
Yeah, one method is you can come up behind the dog and grab its back legs, almost like a wheel, lift them up like a wheelbarrow. So they're totally off balance and they have to worry about not falling over and they quit biting. And then another thing is if a dog's coming after you, you do anything that you possibly, I mean, you have to have the guts to do this to an animal that's usually, you love the animals, but you distract them to the side, like if you had a newspaper or anything to get them to go this way, and then you try to kick them in the ribs and knock the wind out of them. So that they're not bite, even if they do bite you, it's not going to be as dangerous as biting.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
so, yeah. So
I mean, I can't believe I knew how much you love dogs, and I was like, "Where's Tom? I don't know what to do."
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and the owner, they were scared. And the good news, nobody was mad at each other. He realized the dog had gotten off the leash, and what is he supposed to do? You know?
Yeah. Well, this is bad, and I have one of the guys that works for me. His neighbor, his pit bull, almost killed my buddy's child. Bit him right here, and it was a level 4 bite when level 5 is death. And there's a 3-year-old kid. And then the neighbor's mad at my buddy because the animal control put the dog down. So there's, and I contend there wouldn't be any dog shelters if there weren't for a-hole owners.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why you don't go to dog parks. That there's, well, first of all, regular owners are crazy enough and don't take care of their dogs, but real psychos are throwing cheese balls with razor blades and nails in them at nighttime to kill the dogs during the day. So don't go.
What parks are you going to?
No, you just don't go. It's just too dangerous. And plus, even then, like I said, the regular people don't keep control of their dogs, and then one attack from a dog can ruin the other dog's psyche for the rest of its life. So it's you got to be careful about who you associate with their dogs.
Well, I take hikes with my dog every week in Valley Forge Park, and so far everybody's just licking each other.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That's good.
We're good.
You mean the hikers or the dog?
The hikers.
Oh, good.
Just want to clarify.
The hikers are licking each other.
It's a love fest there. It's a love fest. All right. So before we move on for the dogs, I do want to ask, because last time I was wondering, did you ever train the dogs, or is it your company that trains the dogs?
Well, after 5 years of doing this, I've picked up a lot, but I'm not a professional trainer. So I basically run the website, bring in the leads, take the orders, do all the paperwork and all the money stuff, and then pass it on to the trainers. Because it's really for protection dogs. I mean, they have the reason they're so expensive is because you have to have the right temperament for the dog and a high level of training, because they can do so much damage. So putting those two together is difficult. I mean, people call all the time and say, "Well, hey, I got this dog out. Can you train it to be a protection dog?" Well, I don't know. I tell them,
good point.
Well, let's say you had two boys in your family, 2 young boys, and one was riding his bike and falling over and scraping his knee and laughing about it in the front, and the other one is playing the piano and the violin and cries at a moment's notice. Which one's going to be a professional boxer or fighter when they grow up? So
I love that story.
Oh yeah,
analogy.
We got dogs that would be just happy if you were getting attacked to hide behind you and eat treats while they're seeing you get attacked. They're hiding behind you, but then you got other dogs that'll kill everybody. So you can't have that, killing all the neighbors, so it's a little bit of a balancing act there. So finding a dog with the professional fighter temperament, but still doesn't eat all the neighbors is why it costs.
We have a big dog. I love this dog. He's a husky with those beautiful blue eyes, but man, is he strong. His owner called him Demon. And he's the gentlest dog, but I think, do you think maybe the word demon? Because all the kids go, "Oh, there's Demon," and they go like this. Right. He's so sweet and gentle.
That's the way this rescue husky I have is just gentle, just wants but she's a runner. That's the problem.
He's a runner too.
I 1 second I look away, she's across the cul-de-sac with the landscaper guy jumping up for hugs from somebody she never even met. So
Yeah.
I have to watch her very close, but
Yes.
she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, demons in love with my cats. Figure
Oh,
that.
ooh, that can be dangerous.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's segue in because I got a lot of questions last time before you came on and I didn't get to them. You know, about business, the thing that you make a lot of money with and that you're really good at. And you started it saying about how passionate you are with the dogs, but then you turned it into a business. Is
Right.
that lucrative business for you, or is it one of your charities?
It's no, that is a sideline business that's profitable. You know, the dogs start at $20,000. So
Wow.
you know, the ones I got in here is 50,000, depending on the level of training. So it's, yeah.
It's like
Well,
horsies that rate.
well, it's they say it's the bullet that you can withdraw, you know, you can fall back. But we're low volume, do a couple dogs a year, so it's not a major thing for me. But the big picture of this for your listeners is to make your hobbies tax deductible. So I didn't start out with a dog business. I started out getting a protection dog and then seeing all the enormous amounts of money it took to take care of this and keep it trained and everything. And so I said, I'll just make a business out of it. And I've done it with loads of different things. Like I have the dubious distinction of being the largest person ever to create and star in a tennis training video. I'm a tennis nut. It's called fatsotennis.com.
Oh God.
Yes,
oh, God.
You see the trailer of the video of me playing tennis and eating pizza at the same time. And so I'm a tennis nut. And so you guess what? At my tennis club, Roger Federer is not there, Nadal is not there, Sharapova is not there. It's just the big fat butts like me there trying to beat the younger kids. So, I created this tennis training video, and now my ball machine, and I interviewed some of the most famous tennis coaches, and the trip to California, all tax deductible because I sell this thing. So you can put up a world-class website for $150. And so you can take whatever your hobbies or your family interests are, golf, tennis, camping, soccer, whatever it happens to be, put up a cheap website, and you don't have to make a product. So you can do what they call sell affiliate product, which means you promote a product that somebody else has created. And if they buy it through your link, you get a commission.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's money coming in. That's a business in the USA or just any developed country. That's how it works. So you can make your hobbies tax deductible. I have a thing called brutal self-defense based on the fact that I've been in gunfights and knife fights, and I had a nightclub and bikers trying to kill me. And so I'm very skilled at self-defense. So I started a self-defense website. So, and then any more training or videos or, training that I get is tax deductible, but I can still make money on that and help a lot of people. A lot of things I do help others too, like the dog rescue and
absolutely,
self-defense and everything. So it's a very win-win kind of thing.
Yeah. Tom.
Yeah. Sandy.
I think
she must be getting deep here when she uses my name. Yeah.
I feel like some of my friends and mentors have called you and said, you need to be on Sandy's show, because after I saw, well, first of all, while I had my health.
No, you need to be on your show twice.
Yeah, twice, right. Part of my plan, part of my master plan.
Right.
Really, it was perfect, but we had. So even when I had my health clubs, my part would always be like, let's do this product, let's do this product. We could, and I didn't, I wasn't about that. I was like, no, this is it. And then I sell them in 2019. And I have this great outlet because I've been doing podcasts for 10 years and I do speaking engagement. And I have books, but the profit margin on books. But I have no other products up there. And so people keep saying, what the freak is wrong with you? You do all these podcasts, you guest on these podcasts. And yes, you're a coach in this, but there's no other products. And I thought about it. When I had my health club, I had built the business, so it was passive income. Like I didn't really have to be there that much. What is wrong with me, Tom? I mean, I'm missing all these opportunities.
Your body fat percentage is too low. That's what it is. That's.
I think my clients would say that, but we'll go with that.
But whenever I'm on a fitness thing like this, I always say the reason I look so much younger with my boyish face here is because I keep my body fat percentage up, which smooths wrinkles out.
It
So you
does.
never look old.
It does.
So, maybe not the best advice.
No,
All
but
right.
there's something to be said there, because when I'm really lean the way I like to look, my face looks yucky.
Yeah.
And what is it all about? It's how you look on social media, isn't it?
I got to tell you, I live in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and they have all these crazy stores down at the ocean front, health food and stuff.
Mhm.
I go in there sometimes. The people that come in there look like they're ready to die. They look like they look just haggard and everything, and they're buying these vegan cookies that I think my recycling bin has tastier stuff in it.
Okay, how old are these people though? Like, let's just get a grip. How old?
I don't know, 15. I don't know. So what's wrong with you? All right, so I'll play therapist here. You have to take the stuff that's in your head and get, which is enormous. Plus, you have enormous credentials.
I
You know, looking at naked guys in a locker room and pretending like it's nothing when you were for the Flyers.
By the way, half the listeners are like, "What the heck is he talking about?"
You
That's
were
another podcast when I worked for the Flyers. Let's just segue
right.
out.
So she was did that. You were on what, television as the fitness person. You got all these.
Ooh, good memory, dog. Good memory.
Yeah, and then you have enormous knowledge in your head that needs to be in a saleable format other than you personally coaching people, which is great, but it's a finite thing. There's only so many.
It's not passive income. It's not passive.
Yeah. So you have to get things. So I wrote a book one time, 4 hours, an ebook. And I remember it vividly. I was in a layover at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. And as of this morning, it's brought in $3.68 million, and anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month.
I love
and you say, boy, does that sound like BS. All right, well, let me explain how it works. So I mentioned earlier about affiliate stuff, like if you, make a website. And
wait, I'm taking major notes so people don't yell at me anymore.
Okay. All right. So the next level up of that is called a residual affiliate program. And what that means is that I recommend a product or service to somebody, and when they keep buying it, I keep getting paid. I only recommended it once, but I keep getting paid as long as they keep it. So this book taught you how to all the benefits of using this certain piece of software, but you couldn't get the benefits unless you bought the software through my affiliate. Some people have kept buying it for 15 years. So
brilliant.
Well, it's just the way it works in my world, so this stuff is available to people. I mean, and what's funny about the pandemic is I've been preaching working from home. I've worked from home for literally 45 years before the internet. And the pandemic comes along. Oh, you can work from home. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Well, the other companies had to catch up.
Right. So this these kinds of tools are available to you online, and being digital, especially. I've been selling ebooks for 22 years now, so it's not nothing new. But the profit margin is 97%. What other business on earth sells products that are 97% profit? Nobody.
Yeah.
All right. So.
I did do an ebook 5 years ago. That counts.
There you go. Well, what'd you do? Did you sell it? Give it away?
Wait a minute. Did I sell it, or did it give it away?
Did it lead to something?
All right, bigger? Forget I even mentioned that. Moving forward.
All right. Well, all books should lead to something bigger. That doesn't mean they're just sales letters, but they should always lead, because a book is only a small finite price. So the book should lead to something else, like an affiliate program or some other program, or to convince people of your depth of knowledge so they hire you for that. But online courses would be a next level than an ebook, and you can put that together for about $150. And basically you're locking off web pages until people pay, and then when they pay, they get access to the material. It's a membership site is basically what it's called.
Yeah.
And there's I can't think, I don't remember the name of it, but there's membership sites on everything. There's one on embroidery, all right, which I have nothing, no connection to embroidery.
Yeah.
20,000 members at $10 a month each. $200,000 a month for freaking embroidery. Okay.
Those people are tight.
Yeah. And they give them one pattern per month. But what happens is once you get that many members, you're building what's called a community.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got expert friends that teach community building. And once they have friends and seniority in this group, they're never going to quit. And for $10
Absolutely.
a month, it doesn't affect anybody. But when you add it up, that's $200,000 a month, $2.4 million a year for embroidery site. And then inside, they also have affiliate stuff for embroidery machines and supplies and all kinds of stuff. See, so this stuff is all available to you, but you don't have to think that big to start. I mean, you can start on eBay with no website, and clean your basement out at the same time.
I think that's it. A lot of the people that wrote in their different questions, most times they think it's overwhelming. Like it's not them, they're not entrepreneurial, that's for other people. But the things you're describing, you don't have to be an Einstein to do.
Well, let me tell you about eBay. Okay. I was an eBay power seller for a long time. I don't fool with it much anymore, but because you have to do physical products, which I do mostly digital now. But I grew up very frugal. My dad came from Syria on a cattle boat as a little kid and grew up with nothing. And, as I grew up, it was always, to this day, I can't brush my teeth and leave the water run because I hear my dad saying, don't waste water, don't waste things,
Yeah.
So I grew up very frugal. So I buy off of eBay, and OfferUp is another one. And Facebook Marketplace is all stuff where you can buy stuff local. But eBay, I bought this tool from this guy, and he happened to be local. So I go to his house to pick it up, and he's got a beautiful house. He's got a $500,000 motorhome out front, and he comes dressed very nicely to the door, invites me in to go down to his shop in the basement to buy this tool.
Oh.
Great. Okay, I go down the hallway, go down the steps, and Sandy, everything up to this point is normal. Okay. I'm going into the shop, and I look over to his basement. On the ceiling of his basement, there are hundreds of ladies' bras hanging from his ceiling. And I'm thinking, oh my God, he lures you in to buy a tool, kills you, hangs your underwear up on the ceiling. I don't know what to think.
Thank God you're a male at this point. If I was a female, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah. So I'm watching this guy like a hawk, and I go in and I buy the tool, and we're talking like nothing's happening. These hundreds of bras hanging. So on the way out, of course, I walk behind him because I don't want to get a hatchet in the head. I said, I got to ask you, what's all these bras hanging there? He says, oh, my daughter goes to all the thrift stores. She knows all the people, and she knows all the sizes, and she repairs them and cleans them up and sells them on eBay. Oh, that's interesting. $200,000 a year she makes selling used bras on eBay.
Oh my! And who the freak wants somebody else's bra?
Well, I don't know that either, but all I can tell you is that my mind is then spinning like, oh man, I can't do that idea. If I hung around the bra department at thrift stores, they'd call the police.
Absolutely. But the funny part is the guy doesn't even think twice that he's bringing it in.
I know.
Something weird, Yeah.
He's so happy his daughter's making a fortune. So there's all kinds of things without it. There's sites called, one is called Zazzle, and the other one is called, I forget what the other one is, but Zazzle is a place where it has over 1 million products, t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, tote bags, everything on earth. And all you do is you create a graphic that goes, or a saying, like a funny t-shirt saying or something, and you upload the graphics, and then you can pick any one of these 1 million products and build a store for free. And your graphic is displayed. The product doesn't exist until somebody buys it. It's print on demand for all this stuff.
Genius.
Yeah, and so you don't have to have any technical skill other than to create or pay somebody to create your graphic or your funny sayings or something. And then you upload it, you build your store, and you get you have no inventory, no shipping, you don't have no merchant account. They collect all the money and you get a
Yeah.
17% royalty on whatever you sell. And then if somebody buys something from another store that came from you sending them over there, you get 10% of what they sell. And you have nothing, nothing. All right. But just collect the check.
Wait, I got it right. So for
Zazzle. Yeah.
I'm writing this down. Wait, people,
Yeah.
we got
I can't
so
think of
listen.
the other name. There's another one that just like it. Cafe Press. That's the other one. Yeah.
Cafe. I came up with a shirt and I just did it for my girls for t-shirts. And everyone knows I love trees. So for just my group, we call them the woo-woos. I had t-shirts made with a tree on, and on the branches were hung little red and white wine glasses. And it said,
Yeah.
trees make me smile. Isn't that
So
great?
you could take
And the
that
tree
graphic.
has the wine glasses. Come on, that's genius.
Exactly. But the next level is take that graphic, build a store on Cafe Press or Zazzle, and put that graphic on everything you can find. You know, they got hoodies, they got onesies for babies. They got, I mean, there's over 1 million
it.
products. They got thongs, they got dog shirts, you know, everything.
Beautiful. So, Tom, the big question is here. Were you always like this? Were you always having that entrepreneurial mind,
Yes.
even as a child?
10 years old.
10
Yeah,
years
10 years old, I started all kinds of side hustles. I was selling advertising specialties door to door. When I got old enough to drive, I was selling encyclopedias, winning awards for that kind of stuff, and taking scrap copper my dad would bring home from jobs and cleaning it up and taking it to the scrap yard for money. Yeah, always doing something to make money.
Yeah. Okay.
I bought my first used car. I sold my first used car at 15 years old before I even had a learner's permit. A guy I knew took me to the auto auction and they had a 1963 Corvair. I don't know if you even ever heard of it.
I had a Corvair.
I was
Trap Corvair.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and the body was falling apart and nobody wanted it. I paid $20 for it at the auction, got it home, fixed it all up for another $20, did all the body work and sold it for $200. And I thought I was rich. Right?
I wonder if you sold me my Corvair.
I could have. I don't know. What color was it?
Those things hydroplane. I just want you to know that. They
had a pancake engine. Ralph Nader, of course, loved them. You know, he's the one that came out and said they're going to kill you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So we get that you've been this way at birth, but I still see there's opportunities for a lot of people out there who might even have full-time jobs. They don't have to do this full-time and work from home yet. Don't quit your day job. It could be their side hustle.
Absolutely. Yeah. My goal with my students, and many of which are working regular jobs and building this on the side, is to make it too expensive for them to go to work. In other words, they build up this side hustle until the time they're putting into it is more valuable than going to work. See, because when you create a piece of intellectual property like an ebook or an online course, you do it once and you sell it over and over and over again. Now, my whole thing is work, get paid. When you go to work, you have to show up and then you get paid, hopefully, and then you go back and then some big company buys them out and then they kick you to the curb. You know, so
yes, that's the way it happens.
Yeah, you're in control, and everything that you do pays off on and on and on. I call it like an insurance policy for your family. Like I was in a hunting accident, and it would have been such a great story had I gotten shot. Right, but no, I fell on a log and I perforated my intestines. I'm in intensive care for 2 weeks. Money is pouring in still from all these things that I have going. See, we call it VRE, virtual real estate, and you don't have to go kiss butt on a banker to get a mortgage to build a $150 website.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It would have been a great story if I got shot. Hey, you just gave me a great idea.
Get shot. Yeah. You're in Philadelphia. That should be easy.
Funny. No, I don't want to go to the haunted
Not funny.
all these people I meet that are brilliant marketers like you, I could do trade for 30 days and promise them that I will get them mentally and physically fit, and vice versa. And they'll help me with developing some of my products.
Give it a shot. Is that, yeah, but you don't really need help. You have it all in your head already.
I
Look,
know.
yeah.
I know.
And just a reminder, could you turn the recorder on to make sure we get
Oh
this?
God, shoot. Can you imagine? Listen, that cannot happen here because it's in the corners. I'm recording. Which, have you done that before?
No.
Not recording.
No.
God, don't scare me. Because even last time when it was gargly, I mean, it sounded perfectly clear to me.
I mean,
again,
I've
right
had
now.
a failure. All right, but I have never forgotten to turn the recorder on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So speaking of failure, have you had businesses that have failed?
Oh, yeah.
Please say
anybody-
yes. Please say
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And I'm not going to take the blame for it though. The thing is, in the 80s I had the second largest nightclub in the state, and I was
That sounds like a
7 days.
success.
Yeah, oh yeah, for a while. And it was, well, of course, this is where all the gunfights happened, and I got out alive, luckily. But
Did you get shot?
I did not get shot. But
See, it would have been a damn good story if you did.
I know it would have been a better story then. But what the interesting part was is, remember, this is West by God, Virginia. All right, so I had gone to college on a football scholarship. I was outside a college town with this giant nightclub, and so the two gunfights that we had, there was only one sheriff and one state police for 300 square miles. so
Okay.
the
Quiet
sheriff,
down.
the two gunfights we had, the sheriff comes out the next day and he says, "Hey Tom, I heard you had some excitement out here." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Anybody get hurt?" I said, "Well, they didn't hit me, but I haven't seen those guys." So he sits there for a second. He says, "All right, be careful." That was it. That was the whole investigation of the two shootings. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is West by God,
All right,
Virginia.
then.
So I don't know,
Business
where
as
were we
usual.
going with that? Where were we going with
We
that?
were
I forget.
talking about how it failed, and right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So 7 days a week, 6 years. I got 4 days off a year, on my way to being a millionaire before I'm 30. And then the drinking age went from 18 to 21. Wiped me out. I lost $400,000, lost everything. You know, you come to a dead night, you know, you knock out 75% of the people. The rest of the people say, "Ah, it's dead tonight. We'll go somewhere else." And so the lesson here, though, is I was lucky to get out alive after 100 violent encounters with bikers trying to kill me. But the bigger lesson is that my dad told me, you don't screw over people. We came from a small town, 500 people in my hometown, and we lived in the suburbs. Right? So it was the sticks, and everybody, it's still 500 people to this day. It's Claysville, Pennsylvania, and it was named after the yeah, it's clear on the other end of the state, outside of Pittsburgh. And
Never heard of it.
that was named after the famous statesman Henry Clay, but he didn't actually sleep there. His horse just took a dump there on the way through, and that was good enough for us. So,
Move forward.
all right. So anyway, you did what you said. Everybody has common sense. I swear, you know, I'm not into politics, but I could take any farmer from our hometown and make better decisions than politicians make, because we have common sense.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and we bottom line, it matters what we do. So when the nightclub went under, I owed a lot of money to people, pizza ovens and supplies and all this stuff, and the mortgage and the vehicles and everything. So I went to every one of them before I was delinquent in anything. And I said, "Look, you know me, you know what happened." I said, "You give me enough time, I'll pay you off. I won't go bankrupt." And you know, I just refused to screw over all these people that had trusted me. And of course, they didn't have much chance, because I could have gone back. They said, "Okay." And so I paid them all off over time. So that's the lesson. You got to protect your reputation at all costs, because I could go back to that town today and they'd say, "That's the guy that didn't screw us." You know, so that's the lesson from there. And I don't know, this, and the other lesson is don't buy a biker bar and try to change it. for some
Okay, so
reason,
everybody out there who's
yeah,
thinking of that, like,
yeah. So for some reason, they just didn't appreciate my efforts to turn it into this nice place. So, so that was a long time ago, but a lot of lessons came from it.
but since then, all these other businesses that you've been doing online, have they all been successful or they're up,
All the
down?
businesses have been successful. That doesn't mean every project was successful. And the beauty of it is, though, is because it's digital for the last 20 years, you have very low risk. Because, I mean, if you have Microsoft Word on your computer and Adobe or an ability to go file, save as PDF, all right, with that amount of technical knowledge,
Stop it.
you just created a business. All right, you just created a piece of intellectual property that
Yeah.
sells for the price of a normal book. You know why?
Yeah.
Because of instant gratification. People can download it instantly, day or night. I had a thing for 9 years that sold $42,000 a year. It was called instanteulogy.com. So it was the people that had to go to a funeral and give a eulogy. And so I wrote a book on how to do it when they're distraught and crying and upset. And yeah.
Where did you come up with that one?
Well, because I made my first fortune online is spelling public speaking stuff. So anything that was related to public speaking. So that was one thing. And then we do a thing we call upsell. So you want to add something to the sale when they make the first sale. Well, I already had this other set of books that brought in $72,000 a year for 9 years called How to Make a Wedding Speech and How to Make a Wedding Toast. And I thought, man, that's not going to be a good upsell for the eulogy book. So I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to brainstorm. It took me a couple hours. I brainstormed 101 nice things to do after the funeral as the upsell for the eulogy book. So they bought the eulogy book.
Okay.
And then this other book said, okay, take the family kids out to the movies to, you know, calm down, to make food for them, just do nice things for the family after the funeral. And so that's was an upsell to the original sale. So, but all these things, there was no risk in it. If I'd had to pay $5,000 for the website and thousands of dollars for the book to be created, I wouldn't have done it. But when you could, at the time, the website cost $15, all right, and the book cost nothing. You know, so there's no reason not to do it.
That's what I love about this. I love about it. There's not a huge risk up front. It doesn't work. Bob and weave another direction.
Exactly. And even if, you know, I have 25 books to my credit. One major publisher. Here's probably one of the classics that colleges use sometimes for this on public speaking. Wake them up, business presentation.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And the rest are all ebooks. And even probably 2 or 3 of them sold really big, like the 3.6 million one. That's an outlier, but the rest of them sold tens of thousands of dollars, but there was no printing, no books in the garage, no nothing. You know, and the ones that didn't sell that well can still be used as bonuses and giveaways, as you know, for other purchases. So it's a very, very low risk with potential really high returns.
You know, you could be one of my affiliate programs because I started in April doing a circuit speaking at colleges. I could take your Wake 'em Up book.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's just all kinds of methods that you can. I mean, we're just touching a fraction of the potential.
I basically just like brainstorming to just get people to think in this direction.
The hardest part is to pick what to do, and the second hardest part is to swim through the scammers. You know, that's why I have a TV show in development in Hollywood called Scam Brigade. And so because
is it a scam?
yeah, there's so many people lost their homes. I mean, they attack older people a lot of times, and 120,000 people lost their homes from just one Nigerian lottery scam. You know, so just bad. So there's a lot of scammers in this thing. So it's to you know, somebody that can't make their car payment is telling you how to get rich, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're really good at writing copy and making you feel like, oh, this is great. And I have a saying that you can take some dog poop and pour sugar on it all day long. Sandy, it doesn't turn into candy.
I've heard little things like that, but never quite like that.
Yeah. So they could take anything and tell you how great it is. And then once they get your money, what are you going to do? So you got to be careful with that. But if you just keep the costs low and create things that you can sell over and over and over again digitally, the potential upside is enormous.
All right, before we wrap up, I got to get this one question.
I didn't even get warmed up yet. What are you talking about?
Oh my, listen, okay. I'll bring it back on. I'll pretend it didn't record. All right, listen, before we go into the end, over and over again, people were asking me, I saved it to the end. Okay, great. Now I know, but how do I draw people to my website? And this one young lady said she spent so much money in ads, and she feels like she got scammed. Like it was just overwhelming. And it looked like she made a lot of money selling her book, but she spent way more in ads to draw people in.
Okay, couple of things there. First of all, if she got a database of people out of it and even lost money on the front end on her ads, she can sell those people. Since it's in her email now, she could sell them over and over and make it up on the back end. So that's one thing.
Okay, cool.
If she had gotten the database. But online advertising is really a science and an art and a science. So you really have to learn what you're doing. See, the big companies like Facebook see you coming if you don't know what you're doing. For instance, if you put a budget in of $3 a day, okay, and things start working, oh man, this is great. I'm going to up my budget to $20 a day because I'm making money. Oh, they see you coming. See what happened. What would have happened there is that for your first budget, they put you at the best places with the highest, greatest people that respond to ads. And then if they see you raise it from 3 to 20, they know you don't know what you're doing. No professional would ever do that. We might go up a couple percent, maybe to $5 after 3 days and inch it up. So they see you jumping your ad up. And so then they start putting your ad at every crap place on the face of the earth that nobody ever responds. Take your money, knowing that they don't care if you disappear. They want the people to have $100,000 a day budget for pennies or JC pennies or something. Say, so you really have to learn what you're doing. However, there is one place that's two places that are super bargains. One is YouTube in-stream ads. These are the ads where you can click the skip button. All right. Most people don't know if you click the skip button before 30 seconds, you don't pay anything. You don't have to pay anything for the ad. Now, there's no reason to have an ad less than 30 seconds because if they get to the end of the ad, if it was a 15-second ad and they got to the end, you have to pay. So don't do it before 30 seconds. And then in the first 5 seconds, you have to grab their interest. And because they have to watch the ad for 5 seconds. Correct. And another thing is you don't say, click the ad, click the link in the description. That's crazy because your ad is on top of the other person's video. So you're telling people go down to the other guy and click on his stuff to forget me. You say, click on the link in this video. All right. Yeah. And then they give you a,
and I've seen that. You're right.
Yeah. So, and then they also, if you pay attention and the default look at YouTube above all the related videos, you get an extra banner that even if they skip your ad, your banner stays up there for a while to get another chance out. So those are you have to know these kind of things to keep the cost down, but you can, I've had as low as 4 cents per video view. So you can get loads and loads, and now it can go to $1.50 if you don't know what you're doing. So, yeah. And you also do what we call split testing. You don't just put one video up, you put 10 videos up, different angles and different offers, and you watch it like a hawk, and you stop the ones that aren't working and leave the ones that are working. Because some people just put up stuff and they don't know what's working and what isn't. So half of their money is getting shot with stuff that's never going to work. So there's there's a whole bunch of stuff to learn there, but we concentrate on paid ads now, because if you know what you're doing, by tomorrow you can tell if something's working or not.
Yeah.
If you try to go with search engine optimization, 6 months later, you still don't know what's going on. And if it did work a little bit, Google turns the dial on you, and then you disappear off the face of the earth, and 6 months have gone by. So paid ads are good, but you really have to learn what you do.
Yeah. But you also don't have to, again, put in a huge investment.
No, if you know what you're doing, because the more clicks you get, the cheaper the ad is. See, a lot of people don't know that either. So
I did not know that.
they're rewarding you for having a good ad. So
Gotcha.
if you get an ad that people really like, they're making more money, and they reward you by giving you cheaper cost per click. If you get an ad that used to be Google wouldn't even run your ad if nobody clicked on it after a while. But now they just raise your cost per click out of sight until they finally throw you away. So the better ad more targeted, the cheaper it is. So that's how you can get to 4 cents or 4 or 5 cents. But if you mess up, it could be a couple dollars per view. And you don't want that. That's too risky.
I mean, I know their heads are spinning because this is so much information, but great information. Even if we just locked into one of these, we could
just the raw idea of it could make you rich.
My God.
And when people ask me, you're into fitness and everything. When people ask me how much weight I want to lose, I say, I just want to get down to a B cup.
I understand that, though. I do understand that. Okay. All right, Tom. Normally, we do rapid fire here, but
haven't we been doing that?
No. But it's Love Month. It's Valentine's in February. So I just call it Love Month, and you will be going out in Love Month. So I thought we would end on advice from your relationship that you can give us, and how to have a successful relationship. So we're going to end on that one. How about that?
Okay. So
you're a pro.
At Home Depot, they have these construction dust pans that are like a dustpan, but they're like this wide, enormous. The advice is, don't give that to your girlfriend for Valentine's Day.
All right, so let's back up. Have you done that?
Yes, as a joke, of course.
Oh, as a joke.
Yeah. But no, my advice is you want to live at least 3 hours from, so my girlfriend has been with me 21 years now. And so you live at least 3 hours away, and then you see them once every 6 months like clockwork.
And then they don't get sick of you.
Well, no, you never argue. No, nothing. You're always happy to see each other.
Can I ask a personal question here? Well, I'm going to end here.
Why not?
Is she happy with this arrangement, or she just thinks you're so awesome she's willing to put up with it?
Well, the personal part of it is she's her mother is sickly, and she's taking care of her mother, and that's probably the main thing. Is
okay.
She's very, very close to her mother, and she lost her dad from a heart attack suddenly, like no notice. And then she was at my house here in Virginia Beach one time when her brother had been abused as a child by the neighbor, and her brother hung himself.
Oh God.
So she's very family oriented, and and I take care of him, from afar as best I can. So it's a long distance kind of relationship, but it'll change eventually. But I had I heard a comedian say the other day he had sex for 2 hours, and he and his girlfriend were role playing doctor and nurse, and so he was in the waiting room for 2 hours and 58 minutes.
I love that. I was like, where are we going with this? Wait a minute. I get the story of the family and all that, but this has been a 21-year relationship, so it wasn't always long distance.
Well, yeah.
Or it
always was, but the mother is like 87 now. And so she's been sickly for a long time. And
Gotcha.
the daughter is just the
Very
sweetest,
dedicated. Yeah.
loving person that, that is hard to tell what would happen. And the mother's been a better mother to me than my own mother was. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm perfectly
So
fine with
you're a
it.
big teddy bear, aren't you, Tom?
Well, I take care of people. I remember my dad. It's funny. My dad was married to my mother for 57 years.
Yeah.
Well, he was married to another lady for 20 years before that. So he was married 77 years. I haven't made it 77 minutes with him.
Wow.
So, and what cracks me up that nobody in the family ever even breathed is he had a big tattoo on his chest of his first wife's name. And so, and
He didn't get it removed.
Nobody ever mentioned. No, nobody removed stuff in those days. Giant tattoo.
That's so messed up. I can't tell you.
I
I
know.
don't know if I would want that. Right, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's
So there's my pit. Folks, don't take any advice from me on this.
Yeah, I don't know where. No.
I mean,
because,
the thing about the dustpan, that's a good
right.
idea.
No, but you're being kind and generous, and there's a lot of love going on in there. Okay, that's enough of the love fest. Tell us where they can find you, because you were talking about your coaching programs that you have for people.
Yeah, so I want to give them something. So I have a book on how to automate your computer and your business. If you're in business, if you're not, it still will make you go faster. It's got stuff on your cell phone you probably never heard about. And so you can go to screwthecommute.com/automate free to get that book. And then if you're interested in my high level coaching program, it's greatinternetmarketingtraining.com.
Okay.
And if you're scared to live in Philadelphia, go to brutalselfdefense.com.
I live in the suburbs. It's a very nice neighborhood.
Oh, they're coming. They're coming for you. Don't worry.
Stop it.
Lock your doors right now.
My dog will lick them.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. There you go. No, criminals don't like dogs. That's true.
All right, my let's keep it real people. I think you are going to say, Tom,
Start the recorder now. Start the recorder now.
Oh, stop it. You're too funny. We would really appreciate you sharing, liking, rating, and subscribing. It means so much. And until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Toodles. Bye, Tom.
I thought it was keep it real.